Board. All right. Well, good afternoon and welcome. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited for today. We have an incredible speaker joining us today. My name is Arthur Lupshaw. I'm a physical therapist by background. I spent my career, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my story in a moment, but working with stroke and traumatic brain injury patients, and LifeVantage found me and hit me over the head many times before I really took a look to understand what this is all about. But here, let me advance our slide here. So this is me, and this is my beautiful wife Kelly, and this is our some of our gang, some of our business gang here with LifeVantage. We are now currently just outside of Indianapolis. We used to be in Southern California. Um, as physical therapists, we were blessed to be able to help patients, but struggled because number one, we always felt our patients get better faster, and we didn't know how to do that, how to help them. And two, we were stuck trading time for money working with patients, and that was really, really hard and overwhelming. And as a medical professional who spent a long time going to school and getting lots of degrees, really struggled to get ahead financially in life. And this company has been a tool that has really, really helped us. And we are going to hear from our amazing guest, Dr. Sean McKee, who is a board certified neuroradiologist. Wow, it's a big word right there, Dr. Sean. Neuroradiologist. She is a U.S. Air Force veteran and founder of the Vitality MD. She was a lifelong endurance athlete, marathons, ultra marathons, Ironman triathlons, lots and lots of medals to her credit. And Dr. Sean learned firsthand what it was like to not have that lasting energy anymore, to literally be burnt out, right? Ultimately, she got introduced to how to activate her body, turn back on the pathways in her body to help her have more energy and feel better and recover better. And after shifting in her practice, when she experienced that herself, from merely diagnosing why patients weren't well to actually helping them become well through the science of activation, she has now become passionate about empowering women over 40 to feel strong, focused, and fully alive again. That is so awesome, Dr. Sean. And you've been happily married for 36 years, okay, to her husband, John Day. He's a gastroenterologist, and together they're the proud parents of two amazing sons, currently attending law school. Wow, wasn't enough to have doctors in the family, got to have lawyers too. And then she's also the devoted mom to four zany doodles. Okay, I have two zany doodles. I don't know how you handle four. That's a wild household. So, Dr. Sean, welcome to our call today. We so appreciate having you here. I'm gonna, just pass this on to you for a moment, just to tell a little bit more about yourself. I'm gonna back up to the slide about you. Tell us about you and what led you down this path.
What a great question, Arthur. Thank you so much for that great introduction. And, it was crazy. I found myself 44 years old and just at the top of my game, super athlete, until all of a sudden the wheels just fell off the bus one day. It seemed like all of a sudden I went from the Energizer Bunny to just frazzled. I was burnt out. I just basically hitting the snooze button over and over and over again every single morning and fall asleep on the couch the minute my bottom hit it while I'm sitting down to watch an evening show with my husband. I'm, basically done. And one day, my husband sweetly suggested that I go to see this age management specialist doctor that he sends all his cancer patients to while they're really not doing well, and they come back looking like $1 million. So I was a little bit insulted that
I can only imagine.
that he thought something was wrong enough to send me to this person that does such massive things. I just felt like I'm tired like a normal 44-year-old. But then I thought, wait a minute, if this is what almost 45 feels like, I don't even want to know what almost 55 feels like. So ultimately, she put me on all of her anti-aging cocktail supplements that she had and hormone replacement and everything. I diligently took 28 pills a day for 6 months, hated it because I'd often run out of time in the morning to take the pills. I'd forget to bring water on, I'd throw the pills in a baggie, forget the water. It was just a mess. And ultimately, I went back for my follow up. She's like, "How you doing?" And I said, "Fine. I hate taking that many pills." That's when she told me about activation. She told me about the power to flip on the switch at an epigenetic level to turn on the DNA, to turn on the gene expression for these master antioxidants that are millions of times more effective at putting out the fire of something called free radical damage than everything else I was taking. Literally, I was thinking to myself, all these things that I'm taking, they're all for anti-inflammatory, antioxidant benefits. I'm thinking to myself before this appointment, there has to be a common pathway. There has to be something upstream that they're all flipping, that they're all switching on. Why does the description of green tea sound exactly like this description of olive leaf extract, sound exactly like the description of ginger and ginkgo biloba? It's something, they're all doing something
Right.
somewhat. And when she told me about this thing that she had found that actually flipped the switch such a degree that it's proven with peer-reviewed published scientific papers on PubMed to reduce something called oxidative stress, which as a physician I knew oxidative stress is the result of free radical damage. It's the result of your body's ability to fight that fire of inflammatory free radical damage. And I just knew, wow, that's huge. It can reduce it by almost half in 30 days, she said. And they had major studies done by, medical schools. And I was like, why didn't you tell me about this 6 months ago? She said, I didn't know. I said, well,
And have you ever heard of other all natural products ever having that kind of scientific studies and validations before?
the ingredients, yes, vitamin C has a ton of studies. Vitamin E, selenium, has a ton of studies, but something with the label on it, never. And I went right to PubMed when she told me about it. First of all, I said, I'm taking that for the rest of my life. You have me at hello. I need that. And I went to PubMed, and at the time, there were 6 peer-reviewed published studies on the branded product. I was blown away. And then I checked a week later, there was a 7th. And I checked 2 weeks later, there was an 8th. I was like, what is going on? I told my husband, you got to take this. And I looked at him in the eye, like, you're taking this every day. And then I think it was the 5th or 6th day, he's like, he didn't need to be reminded because he noticed a difference. And nothing I was taking and all those cocktails of 28 supplements made a difference maybe made a difference inside. I don't know. I didn't feel it.
Right.
This I actually did. And literally I recycled all the other bottles.
Yeah. No, it's so amazing. I mean, today we have what I believe it's 28 peer-reviewed published studies on this flagship product, Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer. I was blown away as well. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen anything like it. So you were introduced to the product. You had a result, it really helped you. What was your next step? What actually led you to this company, and why did you become a part of this?
I was fortunate or unfortunate enough at the time to own a share of a huge athletic center owned with about 30 other physicians. It had 7 pools, an indoor track, about 85 fitness classes a week, and it cost me 7 figures to be an investor. That's why I say unfortunately. But at the time, someone came in and wanted to do a presentation on this, and they had a bunch of people in our auditorium, which we also had. And I went to the presentation, and I was like, this reminds me of the story of Dr. Gill, who's an ophthalmologist in Florida, who coined the term Iron Man. So every time an Iron Man watch, which is made by Timex, is sold anywhere in the world, he gets like $5. And my husband and I are like, well, short of inventing something or writing a song, wouldn't it be cool to have something with, that we were a part of, that every time it sells, we get a few bucks? Well, as they were presenting in the auditorium, I was like, this might be it, because I'm taking this for the rest of my life. And I don't think anybody knows about it.
Yeah. I will say that when Kelly and I were introduced to this, and I finally agreed to sit down and look at it, we started thinking about, okay, what are all the things involved with the business that we need to see having our own practice? Because I think one of the big things for healthcare providers is that's our name on the shingle. It's our name on the wall. It's our reputation. And we spent a lot of time, a lot of years, a lot of money getting the skills we have and building a practice and reputation so people trust us, right? So
Right.
we just don't want to put something on the shelf that we don't have faith in. So I think what I'm hearing from you as well is we both saw the science, we saw the research and said, wow. But then there was other things that are we have up on the screen, things like, the visionary leadership, right? Of a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, that's actually been in publications, right? And we already talked the peer-reviewed accreditation of the research. I mean, just I found myself not being able to say no to it. And it's not just you and I talking about this. I mean, we were in Newsweek, we were in independent reports. We've been published multiple times, and we've even been able to ring the bell on NASDAQ several times, right?
Right.
So tell me, I mean, we talk about this thing that made such a difference in your life, this foundational product that if we could get a little piece of every time it's sold would be a wonderful thing, right? So tell me a little bit more about this and what it does and how this came to be.
Right. Well, I will tell you, I want to start by saying, I used to think being a radiologist was the best job in the world because I was like the Sherlock Holmes of doctors. I could always tell their doctor what was wrong with their patient. But, that's me telling someone what's wrong with them. Now I realize I have a significant role in helping people fix what's wrong with them and actually get to the root cause and make wellness. Okay, so you take our products, various activators, to make the end product. For example, our NRF2 activator activates a pathway in the body called NRF2. It's a master regulator of the body's stress response, antioxidant production, anti-inflammatory production. It upregulates antioxidants and it downregulates NF kappa B and IL-6 and all the
All these
inflammatory
big
hormones.
words, right?
Yeah. So you take it to make antioxidants. And then we didn't stop there. Now we have a mitochondrial biogenesis activator. You take that to make new healthy mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. We have an NAD activator. Instead of just putting in precursors or the ingredients to make NAD, which depends on the number of workers, i.e., enzymes, to put the pieces together, we take our NAD activator to make more NAD by upregulating those workers, making more enzymes, making them more active. You take the collagen activator, it's hydrolyzed peptides from collagen, but it's more than that. It turns on the 3 genes. It literally increases gene expression of collagen, so much so that collagen density is doubled in 8 weeks. It's incredible. We have a GLP-1 activator. People are hurting themselves taking these pharmaceutical synthetic shots with tons of side effects. They're gumming up their gastrointestinal clearance. They're basically becoming semi-paralyzed in their gut, among other things, feeling nauseous, feeling fluish, and down-regulating their own production. Because when you give a body something from the outside, the body stops making it on the inside. That's really doesn't make a lot of sense. The reason you are gaining weight is your body's not making enough GLP-1. So you take this synthetic thing that's like using an elephant to press a flower. And then at the end, when you go off, which almost everyone does, you now have zero. You went from low to zero, from from not enough to none. And so this is a different approach where we upregulate the genes that make GLP-1. So your body has 3 times as much GLP-1 as when you're not taking it. So that's solving the problem rather than putting a Band-Aid on and covering it up and making it worse.
So
And
if I
we
can
have
back this up for 1 second, Dr. Sean.
sure.
So you talked about, that this flagship product, Protandim NRF2, has been shown that it can reduce that what we call oxidative stress, that rusting of our cells by an average of 40% in 30 days. And you mentioned that rusting, that inflammation, is linked to hundreds of diseases, right? Many, many, many different diagnoses, many diseases. And although we can't claim to treat, cure, prevent, or mitigate, you have found in your practice and other doctors that by helping people rebalance the body starts improving.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically
But
to be well, fix the cell.
but what sounds to me is like even beyond helping people who already have a problem, could this be a great product for someone who doesn't have a problem yet?
If I could have started taking this when I was 1, I would have loved that. I was so, I mean, my children have been taking it since they were 9 and 11. I was 44 at the time when, or five, sorry, I didn't discover it until I was 45. I definitely think if you want to maintain homeostasis, well, then let's just not let your body have the dimmer switch turned down on its production of these proteins and enzymes that have important jobs to do. So
Yeah, and
keep the, go
it
ahead.
was beautifully demonstrated way back in '05, right? When John Quinones went in to do the investigative special report that usually ends up with people, hiding behind their briefcases and running away from cameras. But his oxidative stress markers were reduced by 45% in just what, 2 weeks,
12
15
days.
days,
Yes, 12
12
days.
days? Insane, right? Just incredible.
Yeah. And he was feeling better and sleeping better and waking up and having more energy. It was great, and that's how a lot of people found out about it as they watched ABC Primetime way back in 2005.
Right. And we said again before, this isn't just the Sean and Arthur show. I mean, there's real peer-reviewed published studies here. And I mean, I love the literature review that Washington State University did 10 years ago, 10 and a half years ago, where they looked at the NR2 as the master regulator of detoxification, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cytoprotective mechanisms. And they concluded that what this could be the biggest preventative
Most
breakthrough.
important therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine because of how many genes it turned on in the direction of promoting health and how many genes it turned off that create health havoc.
And then, people will say to me, well, Arthur, this is so great and it's been around for so long. Why haven't I heard about it?
Well, pharma has a big megaphone, and we are not pharma. We are natural. And it's funny, word of mouth is the best form of advertising. However, every broadcast you see has got other things on it. So I think that's it. It just gets drowned out. Who knows?
Yeah. So most recently, we had some really exciting news with the company, right? We actually acquired a whole nother company, and it has this beautiful microbiome product. Can you share a little bit about this new product and why you're excited about it?
Yes, I'm so excited. This was a hole in our lineup. I kept asking, like, we need a greens and phytonutrient product. We need something because I was looking for and buying greens and reds and oranges and purples for my diet every day from other companies. And we finally acquired this, and it has 84 different beautiful phytonutrients in it. It's got probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, fermented foods, digestive enzymes. And when we did the study on cellular study, we found that there are 14 genes, 14 gut peptide gene activation phenomenon going on. It upregulates 6 different, I think maybe 8 different regulators that regulate the gut process. The gut is responsible
I
for
know we don't have the full list on the page
yeah,
here and everything, but yeah, there's the regulators, the repairers, and it goes on with, I think I jumped something here.
and restores. Yeah.
And restores. Oh, it's behind your picture. That's why I don't see it. So on my screen, I can't see it right now. But yeah, it's truly incredible that we've come up, been able to acquire this product and be able to offer it. And because when you pair this and add it the gene activation from NRF2 as well,
Yeah.
insane.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and I love that the pictures are just the story's worth a picture's worth 1,000 words.
yeah, and on the left here, just to help explain and keep us on track with these pictures, this is some results from people using this new P84. On the top, most amazingly, was actually this infant whose mother realized he was having some really severe skin issues, and the doctors were putting them on steroids. And she started taking the new gut health system while she was still breastfeeding, and the kid's skin issues cleared up.
Yep. I
Wild.
love that.
And below this is another friend of ours that we know, and she talked about having that feeling prego after every meal because she was so bloated. And after 2 weeks, the bloat's gone, and she lost 15 pounds. I mean, again, this is not a weight loss product, right?
I think it says 5 pounds, Arthur.
Oh, sorry, 5 pounds. You're right.
I was gonna say 15 pounds.
5 pounds in 15 days. She lost 5 pounds. There we
Yeah.
go. But and then in the middle here, there's this other friend of ours. In 2 weeks, 8 pounds had gone. But what goes on that people might actually lose weight with this too? Because this is not a weight loss product, right?
Nope.
It's a microbiome. It's a healthy gut product.
Yeah. I just, it's everything like as Hippocrates said years and thousands of years ago, disease begins in the gut, and that's where healing begins because it's that one cell layer thick barrier between the outside world and the inside world. And when it's inflamed and not intact and it's disrupted, then toxins can get into the bloodstream, and that's leaky gut, and all kinds of terrible things happen with your health because these particles of proteins are not supposed to be in your blood. It's supposed to have been digested.
Right.
So when you get rid of that, the inflammation can resolve, and inflammation carries with it water weight and everything else. So I think it's what we're seeing is inflammation vanishing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last set of pictures that we have on this page are actually about our healthy weight activations. That is the GLP-1 with activator along with our Protandim NRF2. And this lady had just incredible results in 1 month. And what I found so interesting about these products in particular is, again, this is truly about metabolic health. When you get your blood sugars balanced, when you decrease those cravings because your body just doesn't want all that sugar anymore, you find out that many other metabolic markers start improving. And for some people, they may lose weight as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Side benefit.
Yeah. Beautiful side benefits. Okay. So we've established now that this is a great publicly traded company with research, patents, amazing products. But apparently we're having fun here too. Okay.
I
So
love that.
Kelly and I were blessed to be in Croatia with you guys a few years ago. You got kind of squeezed down in the bottom left corner of that one picture, but
That's
you're
me.
there, you're waving at us. And then you guys had the intense pleasure of being on the South African trip earlier this year, right?
No, that's one we didn't make, but we
Oh, we
got
didn't make it
Ireland,
either, but
Croatia. I mean, we've Alaska, been all over the Mediterranean cruise, the Caribbean. I mean, we've just been everywhere, but we did not make South Africa. That's okay. I'm scared of tigers. Lions, I mean, lions, not tigers.
yeah,
Tigers are
no,
in
no
England.
tigers in South Africa. But no, this company's has amazing incentives, amazing rewards for us building this business all together. So one of the things that I think is important that we touch base on is, why would we get involved in a business? As much as healthcare providers, we want to help people. We want to not only help people get better, but we want to help prevent people from getting sick in the first place. But let's face it, one of the things that I think is so hard for us, and as healthcare providers, we don't want to admit, is a lot of us are not making the money we want to or feel we deserve. You know?
And Arthur, I will add to that. We cannot make money unless we are at work.
Yeah.
That is the big problem.
Yeah.
And we have to find a way to, like I said, if I'd only invented something or written a song, then maybe I could have had the Iron Man wash experience. But when you take off work as a professional, the income stops, and you're still paying the overhead, and you're still paying the person who's covering you, and now you're trying to spend more money while you're on vacation. It's just a triple whammy. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, we learned that very painfully a few years ago when, that COVID thing first hit us all. And I mean, our patients just didn't want to come into the office. Our doors were literally closed for 10 weeks. And all that time, we had no income coming in, but our landlord certainly didn't turn around and say, "Oh, it's okay. Don't pay us your rent for this month." That was still something. So the compensation plan that this company has put together is truly second to none. And being a publicly traded company, we have an income disclosure statement, and this is the income that is possible. I know it's a little bit small here, but the third column over is the average monthly commission paid at rank. And I will say that this has been an incredible blessing in Kelly and my life. Dr. Sean, I don't know how you feel about it.
Oh my goodness. Helping make people better is the best way to earn an income. And that's what we're doing. We are literally, I get paid more for every person that I help get healthier. And there's just nothing better than that. And, it's funny. The more people you help, the bigger your paycheck is. And
Yeah, but the money really is real, right? And this isn't just some fake news.
no, no, no. And what I love is that, it happens. Like somebody asked, how much money did you make on your first, activation customer? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm still getting paid on it. They haven't finished paying me. My dad was my first customer back in 2012.
Right.
And every month he's taken his products, and he's, 85 years old, just got married 2 years ago and walks 6 miles
Fantastic.
a day.
Yeah.
I love that.
So great. And we get paid in multiple ways. Whether you just want to be a customer gatherer, you can get paid up to 30% on just what customers are purchasing from you and your business. And there are levels commissions by building a team and helping other people not only help more people get well and live more vitally, but help other people build a financial asset. So I truly love all the different ways we can get paid. And ultimately, one of the most crazy ways, because you talked about that Iron Man and getting paid for every watch that gets sold, is we kind of do that in this company. There's the leadership pool. And can you tell just a little bit about that and what that's all about, please?
Right. It's company rewards us based on our helping the company. And so once you get to a certain level, it doesn't matter who's responsible for a bottle of Nerf 2 activator or a bottle of collagen activator being sold anywhere in the world, whether it's Japan or Australia or United States. We get a share of that because we helped bring the company new customers. And it's just a beautiful thing. So we're not only paid on our own efforts, we're literally paid on the efforts of everyone in the company from the time the company was started. It's they take 4% of the gross global revenue and they carve it out and they give us shares of it.
That is
So
so
generous.
incredible. It's truly an incredible equalizer, right? So
Yep.
whether you're looking for foundational health by getting that NRF2 and P84 into your body, whether you want to come and join us in building a business, like with the Build and Grow Healthy Edge Stack, it's a great way to come in. You can come in for as little as $250, or if you want to open with the big business pack, it could be as much as $1,000, and you literally get to sample almost every product that this company has to offer. It's truly amazing, but when you choose alignment, the universe moves, and welcome to the activation era, right? And I
Yeah.
absolutely love what Warren Buffett had to say, and that you must position yourself in front of a growth curve, not in the middle or at the end, but at the inception, and then realize that the window of opportunity is always closing. So work like there is no tomorrow.
Amen. And
Amen.
the
You
work
know,
that we do is beautiful work because we are
it's
helping people.
we're helping people. It's fun. It's enjoyable. Um, Dr. Sean, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you having here to have this discussion. I only hope that we can reach out to help more healthcare providers not only have a bigger reach in healing the world, but also to help them find that greater place of comfort financially, stability financially for them, for their families. And it's a beautiful thing how we can not only help people with their health, but also with their wealth and finances.
Amen.
Amen. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording really quickly. We have just a few minutes left, and we can, if you're okay with it, Dr. Sean, we can open it up for any quick questions in our last
Yep.
couple of minutes. If there's anyone that has a quick question, you can feel free to unmute and ask away. Let us know who you are and where you're from and what your question might be.
Looks like you're still recording, Arthur.
Oh, let me make sure that's stopped. Thank you.